Hi, I'm Bob Spears from Distorted Fate. Me and Dave Celentano wrote this song called Burning Sun. It was an instrumental. We wrote it for Distorted Fate's new album, Into Darkness. It was mixed, mastered, and produced by Matt Gruber. He thought, hey, there's a little blank spot, I can throw in a solo. So he did. Turned out really, really cool. This song is a half step down from standard tuning. Here it is. So this is a beginning riff for Burning Sun. The chords are a power chord on B, C, and A. The riff sounds like this. And again, that riff slowly. So the next riff is the same. Instead of going descending, it's ascending. Okay, so the main riff for the song starts out power chord E. Power chord C, power chord B, and then a nice palm mute on this, and then again. Under Dave's solo is the same rhythm as the beginning of the song.
Hey guitar players, I'm Dave Celentano, and I'm going to be teaching my parts to this awesome instrumental tune, Burning Sun, that my good friend Bob Spears asked me to co-write. So here we go. The very first lead you hear in the song is a very quiet melodic lead that producer Matt Gruber did. And then that's going to be on the first string. We're sliding up to the 19th fret on the first string. Little vibrato. Then you're going to pick it again up to the 20th fret, then do a hammer-on pull-off from 19 to 20 back to 19 down to 17. So it goes like this. 2, 3, then 19, 20, then we'll repeat it. Then a third time, but the ending goes like this. 19 again, 20 goes up a whole step, let it down, and then 19. So that little part goes like this all together. And then that drops out, and then I come in playing this little melodic lead, I call it, over the rhythm part. And it's on the second string, 8th fret with your pinky, and third string, 4th fret. And we're just going to go back and forth. One note on the second string, then 2 notes on the third string. Okay, we do that 4 times. And then I'm alternate picking 100% on that. A little bit of palm U2. And then I put a little fill in, which is slide to 7 on the third string, then 5, 7 on the second. And then I raise the riff 8 on the second string to 5 on the third string. Same thing, 4 of those. And then now the fill goes sliding up to 9 on the third, 7, 8 on the second string. Okay, and by the way, guys, the first part, that's over an E minor chord that Bob's playing. And then I go over this. That's over the C chord. Then over the B chord that Bob plays, I do. Okay, and then we do this little fill, which is 10 on the second string, then an 8, hammer to 10, pull off to 8, slide to 7, and then I come up on the second string and do this idea where we're going to go 12 on the second, which is 12, then 12 again, hammer to 13, pull off to 12, slide to 10. Then I do the idea there. 10, hammer to 12, pull off to 10, slide to 8. And then 8, hammer to 10, pull off to 8, slide to 7. Then the third string goes 9, pull off to 7. And then 9 on string 4. So that part goes. And if some of this goes by too quick for you guys, you can always rewind and watch it again. Okay, then the second time through, I'm doing a different idea over the same chords that Bob plays, the E, the C, and the B power chords. And he'll explain all that to you in his segment of this tutorial. Okay, the next one we're going to start on over the E minor is 12 on the second, 9 on the third string. Going to do this 4 times. Then 12 on the third, and 10 and 12 on the second. Next one is 13 on the second string, 9 on the third string. This over the C chord. Going to do this 4 times. Then 14 on the third, 12 and 13 on the second. Okay, and then the next one's over the B chord. We're doing 11 on the second, 11 on the first string, 7 on the second string, 4 times. And then the 11 to 8 on the first string with a hammer-on pull-off. Slide to 7. So I go 11 on the first, 8, 11, 8, slide to 7. And then we jump up to 12 on the first and do 12. Then a hammer-on pull-off to 14, back to 12. Slide to 11. So it goes. Then 11, hammer to 12, pull off to 11, slide to 8. And then 8, hammer to 11, pull off to 8, slide to 7. Second string goes 10, pull off to 8, and pull off to 7. So that lick goes. So that whole part goes together. Okay, and in the third section, over the same chords, we jump up and do 12 on the first string, 8 on the second string, 4 of those. And then 12 on the second to 8 and 10 on the first. And then we do the 12-8 again. Those notes actually work over the E minor and the C chord. But then the fill here is 13 on the second, 10, 12 on the first. And then we're going to do 14 on the first, 12 on the second. 4 of these. Then 14 on the first, then a 12 hammer to 14, pull off to 12, slide to 11. And then up to the 15 on the first string. Then a 15 hammer to 17, pull off to 15, slide to 14. So it goes. And then 14 goes 14, 15, 14, slide to 12 with hammer-ons and pull-offs. And a slide. Then 12 hammer to 14, pull off to 12, slide to 11. And then the last part is 13 on the second string, pull off to 12. And then 14 fret on the third string, slide down. And then that takes us into the lead that I do that I'll show you in the next little video segment. So that whole last section, folks, goes like this. We got the E minor one. And there's the parts for the melodic lead at the beginning of the song. For my solo, we're going to start on the third string, and I'm doing this tapping with string bending. So we're going to bend the third string, second fret up a whole step. And while it's held a whole step, I tap the 6th fret twice and then vibrato it. And then I slide up to the 6th fret and bend that all in one shot. Tap the 9th fret twice, tap, pull off, tap, pull off. So it goes. You just kind of whip that second note, that second bend up there. Vibrato that, then I slide up to 9, tap the 12th fret while it's bent twice, up to the 14, bend that a whole step, bend the 18, or tap the 18, pull off to the 14 twice, then I do 21, pull off. So that whole part goes like this, the first phrase. Little vibrato. The next phrase starts with a cool little harmonic minor sounding lick. It's actually, for your theory buffs, it's a B Phrygian dominant mode. But we're going to be on the 7th fret first string, and I go 7, 8, 11. It's kind of staccato. Choppy. Then I do a hammer-on pull-off from 8 to 11, 8 back to 7. 10 on the second string, then back to 7, hammer to 8, hammer to 11. And then while it's up there, I'm going to double tap the 14 on the first string twice, pull off to 11. Then pull off back down to 11, 8, and 7. So that whole first part goes. Then over to the second string, goes 10, pull off to 8, pull off to 7. Then I start doing trills, which is where you're going to hammer on and pull off between two notes. So I go. Then I slide to 5 and do a couple of those, 5 and 7. Slide back to 4, do 4 and 5. A couple of times, slide back to 1, do 1 and 4. And then pull off to open. So that part goes like this, slowly. And then I answer that with this lick. Slide up to 10 on the second string. Okay, it's slide up to 10, then it's an 8, hammer to 10, pull off to 8, slide to 7. Then I do 8, pull off to 7, and then 9, pull off to 8 on the G string. with some nice vibrato. Okay, now we jump up to the 17 on the second string and do a quick little bend, release, bend. Pick this up for Marty Friedman. Almost sounds like you're shifting gears on a race car, motorcycle. Okay, bend that up. Then I pick it 3 times. Actually 4 times, then vibrato it. Okay, and then I do another idea that's like that Phrygian dominant lick we did earlier, but now I'm at the 14th, 15th, and 18th frets. Kind of pick them choppy. Then I do a hammer on from 15 to 18, pull off to 15, pull off to 14. 17 on the second string, then 14, hammer to 15, 18. Then I tap 19, pull off to 18, 15, 14, 17 on the second string. So that part goes like this. And then we trill between 16 and 17 a couple times. And then I trill on 13 and 16. Slide back to 12. So it's... And I do a little quick slide up and down at the end. So the next idea, the next phrase is a diminished lick, and it's a wide stretch, so I really got to kind of get under the guitar here. It's on string 4 and 2. We're going to be at frets 10, 13, and 16. Hammer on. Same on the second string. We string skip. Then I tap the 19th fret twice, pulling off to the 16th fret. Okay, and then back down. So altogether, that lick goes like this. Then 2 taps, and then back up. So that's a cool little lick just to practice. Then what's neat about diminished, it's symmetrical. So I do the exact same lick down a string and up 1 fret. So now I'm on strings 3 and 1, frets 11, 14, 17. Same on the first string. And then I tap the 20th fret twice, would pull off to the 17, pull off to 14, 11, back to 14, back to 17. So that lick goes. And that'd be a good one just to practice. So put them both together. And the last one I would do after the double taps, then I pull off back down. And then I'm going to slide from that, 11 on the first string. I'm going to slide back to the 8th fret and do a trill. Actually, I just do like 2 of them and slide to 7. So it goes slowly like this, guys. And then second string goes 10, pull off to 8, slide to 7. And then the climax goes like this. Slide up to 19 on the second string. And then I do a hammer on pull off from 17 to 19, back to 17, slide to 16. And then walk up 17, 19, 15, 17, 19 on the first string. And then bend 22 on the first string. So that last phrase goes. And there you have the solo. After my solo, Bob comes in and I'm playing this rhythm. It's a power chord on the 10th fret, string 5. It's a G power chord. I'm going to hit that, slide back to the 7th fret for the E. And then I pick the 5th string 4 times. And then do that again. And then I do a 10 on string 5, 7, 9 on string 4. So it goes. And then we do it again. And then end it with an F power chord on the 8th fret, 5th string, 2 downstrokes. Okay, and then that repeats. And then the second time, instead of playing the F, we go down to D and we hit it twice real quick. Okay, and then the third time we do the same as the first. And then the final time, it's like the second time, except we hit the D twice, but slowly. Okay, and then that's the end of Bob's solo, and then Matt Gruber takes over on his solo. Bob will show you what he plays as rhythm guitar under Matt's solo when he comes up. So all together, that whole section under Bob's solo goes like this. There you have it.
Okay, my solo of Burning Sun starts out on the B string. I'm on the 5th and 8th fret. I'm hammering 12, 13, 15, 13, and 12. Okay, the next phrase is okay, and that's basically on the 12th fret. 14, 14, 16, 14, and a bend on 15. The next phrase of the solo is a sequence in threes. On that, after that part, it's kind of like a little Marty Friedman lick. The last phrase is a hammer-on sequence, starting on the 12th fret and the 15th. And that's basically the end of the solo. All right, this is the rhythm under Matt's solo, and this one goes 4 times.
Hi guys, Matt Gruber here, producer and a sometime guitar player of Distorted Fate. Here to talk about the song Burning Sun, where we all played solos and I got to put in my 2 cents. When the project came over from Bob, they had a little gap in the end of the solos, and I thought to myself, what are they going to put there, I wonder? Maybe I can sneak in a solo. So I did, and when the guys came over and to hear the mixes, I said, so what would you think if I put a solo in that 3rd sequence? And they said, yeah, sure, why not? And I said, okay, great, because I already did it. So it was already done. So Dave Celentano starts off the sequence with an amazing solo. Bob threw down, as Bob always does. So the gauntlet was there for me to be number 3, and here's what we did. Okay, here's in slow motion. Basic pinch harmonic to start. That's a nice feature one. Let's try it from the beginning. Here we go.
All right, this is the next section after Matt's solo. I'm going to play that for you again slow. And after that, it goes back into the main riff of the song.
For the end of the song, I play a melodic lead a lot like the very first part where it's just doing these. Okay, in fact, the first section here is exactly like one of the ones we did at the front. It's the one that starts on the 12th fret second string and 9th fret in the third, and it goes like this. Okay, and then 13 on the second string, 9 on the third. And then 14 on the third, 12, 13 on the second. 11 on the first string, 7 on the second string. And then that's the 12, 14, 12, slide to 11. 11, 12, 11, slide to 8. And then 8, 11, 8, slide to 7. Second string goes 10, 8, 7. Okay, and then the new part is this. 15 on the first string, 12 on the second string. We're going to do that 4 times. And then 15 on the second, 12, 14 on the first, then 15 on the first, 13 on the second, 4 of these, 17 on the second, 14, 15 on the first, then 17 on the first, 16 on the second, 4 of those, and then 17 on the first, 17, 15, hammer to 17, pull off the 15, slide to 14, and then the last part goes 19 on the first string, then a hammer on pull off from 19 to 20 to 19, slide to 17, then 17, 19, 17 with hammer-ons and pull-offs, slide to 15, and then from that point go 15, hammer to 17, pull off to 15, slide to 14, and then second string goes 17, pull off to 15, 16 on the third string, and then bend the 19 on the third string up a whole step, and then you're out. So that last part goes like this, guys. And there you have it.